It is the pernicious purveyor of preposterous pomposity, the paragon of pugilistic punditry. Here once again at the Berman Law Group podcast studio with another edition of the Berman Team Podcast. This is actually my birthday edition of the podcast. 49 and feeling fine. And speaking of fine, we have the finest woman in entertainment, in sports. You've seen her in WWE. You've seen her in AEW. You've seen her on Impact Wrestling. There is none hotter than the mistress of wrestling, Renee Michelle. Lady Renee.
Hey, guys.
Oh. I'm going to have a seat, young lady. Oh, my God.
Oh, the seat for me. Right here.
Yes. Well, welcome to Berman Law Group and welcome to the Berman Team Podcast.
Awesome. You like the whip?
Oh, I love it. You know, I'm a man who loves some pain with my pleasure and pleasure with my pain.
Oh, I love pleasure and pain all together.
Well, I'll tell you, it is an absolute honor for me to have you here, especially on the birthday edition of the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward.
You got to take my glasses off. You are absolutely mesmerizing.
Oh, you don't look too bad or shabby yourself, my love.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, I've got to say that we met in Daytona Beach a couple months ago.
Yes.
We were both on a show there, right on A1A, right on the water, and I was having a rough day. You know, my dad had just recently passed away, and you brightened up my day when I saw you in the back in the locker room, and we got to talking, and I said, I have got to get the gorgeous mistress of wrestling here on the show.
Well, I'm glad I brightened your day, but my condolences to you and your family.
Thank you. I absolutely appreciate it. Now, let's talk about your upbringing, because I understand that you were raised in the Commonwealth of Virginia, out in the country.
Oh, yes. So I was born in, country, city, all the above, you can name it. So I was born in Washington, D.C. Part of my life was raised in the DMV area, like Virginia. I lived a little bit in Maryland as well, like Bethesda, Gaithersburg area. For Virginia, I also went to Woodford Senior High School. And I lived in Fredericksburg, Virginia for quite some time as well. So I have a little bit of like a city and country or suburbanness to me, as well as that was half of my life. And then the other half of my life, I was also raised in Pensacola, Florida, as well as Miami Beach. And I
didn't know that.
Yes, and I currently live like 30 minutes outside of Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, you live in a beautiful place. You're out there in the country, and I understand some of the activities you like out there. You love horseback riding, archery.
Yes. Yeah, I'm more of an outdoorsy type of, woman. And, like, granted, if I wanted to go in the city, it's just 30 minutes drive to get to there. If I want to get away from, the city and the combust of everything, then I go back to my little domain, being one with nature.
Definitely. Now, how on earth did you get into the professional wrestling business? There's a crazy story there.
Okay, so September 1st, 2012, I was dragged to my first wrestling show with an Impact, and it was in Bowie, Maryland. And I never grew up on wrestling, never watched wrestling, have no idea about the world of wrestling until older gentleman there, he chased after me. His name was Gilbert.
The fans will know him.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Gilbert. He was kind of the spoof on Bill Goldberg in WWF, WWE.
Yeah, so he convinced me, he go like, look, you have a great look. Have you ever thought about becoming a professional wrestler? I told him, absolutely not. He wouldn't take no for an answer. He asked for my name. I told him my name was Renee Michelle. Even back then, before wrestling, I always went by Renee Michelle. He found me on my socials. He still begged and convinced me. I caved in. And during the time, Gilbert had a school and I wouldn't want to say around Tacoma. I forgot exactly where, but it was called Gilbert Pro Wrestling Academy. So I was there for about 3 months. I say I started in December, after him convincing me for quite some time. And within 3 months of that, it shut down. Now, the reason for that, I don't know, but I guess it's a thing that, schools, they pop up, they're up for quite some time, they shut down. Not all schools, but there's some. And I was able to meet like a man named Dick Karakoff, and Dick Karakoff was able to introduce me to Dan McDevitt.
Maryland Championship Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess like back in the day, he used to go by Corporal Punishment, but now he opened up a school called Maryland Pro Wrestling Academy. Before, I guess his it used to be known as Bone Breakers, where like Mickey James came from and Lita and all of them.
Mm-hmm. The Hardy Boys, right?
Mm-hmm. So from all of that, Dan, he's always been like a wrestling dad for me. He took me underneath his wing. And, within March 29, 2013 was when I was thrown into the wolves at the last minute to have my first wrestling match. And it was a tag match. It was like 3-on-3. But, I felt like I wasn't ready. But since I guess, one person decided to no-show, it's like sink or swim type of thing. But then as well, that was like my first wrestling match I ever had to do. But beforehand, I was thrown into as a manager for heel, so I was the first manager for Black Wall Street.
Bad girl for Black Wall Street. Yeah,
Black Wall Street for MCW, and I had no idea about anything about being a manager, and no one ever taught me that. But I guess that's the story of my life: just throwing her into wolves and see if you sink or swim.
Well, you definitely swam throughout your career, but let's go back.
More like doggy paddle, but like.
Just to backtrack a little bit, you did grow up as a martial artist. So tell people about that.
Yeah, so I started doing martial art at the age of 4. I stopped doing it when I hit 18 years old. So I started doing Taekwondo, then Muay Thai, then Capoeira and Kung Fu, which is known as Chuli Fut. And as far as weapons, I did spear, staff, and sais. So at age 14, I had an opportunity to go and compete in Korea. Obviously, my mother wasn't having it. She turned that down. But that's how I transitioned into learning into weapons. So since my Taekwondo instructor couldn't get me over to go to Korea to compete, he made sure I learned how to do weapons.
So you're a dangerous woman. I can see with that whip, you know weapons.
Yes, it's my specialty.
I love it. So did you grow up a wrestling fan, a fan of professional wrestling?
No, not at all. I never knew anything about it. I wish I was like a wrestling fan. I wish I grew up watching wrestling at a very young age, and maybe it would probably help me in my younger career, like a more in-depth of it all. But, just like with anything, any job that you learn, you get better as you progress as the years pass by. Like,
sure.
Yeah, it's like aging like fine wine, It's kind of bitter at the beginning, but after a while it has like a finer taste.
Speaking of wine, we're going to be joined later by Massimo Battista. We're going to be sampling some of his fine wines here for my birthday party.
Yay, I love it. I love it.
Awesome. So when you got into the wild and wacky world of professional wrestling, who were some of your opponents? Who was your toughest opponent?
Oh, gosh. I would say my toughest opponent, I have about 2. So I would say Melina, because her and I go way back when we used to wrestle at MCW, and then we wrestle in Barbados together. And Barbados, they haven't had a wrestling match since 1989. And that was really great. Like I would say about maybe 2-3 years ago, Melina and I wrestled each other, over in Barbados, and I absolutely love it, and I love the energy of the people over in Barbados. I wouldn't mind going back again, but who knows when the next time they're going to have a wrestling show, You know, they had one. The last one they had is 1989. So then they had one like 3 years ago. So who knows when's the next time, if ever. And then my second toughest opponent is Mickey James. So for whatever,
she came through Maryland Championship Wrestling too.
yeah,
right?
and she's from the Richmond. She's from the Richmond area, and I used to live over in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So we're like 45 minutes away from each other during that time. But now like she lives over in Tennessee. But you know we're all like in that room, you know, that area together. But she's a tough cookie. Every time I get in the ring with her, there's something about Mickey. Like I get nervous with her because it's like I want to learn so much about her, but it's like as sweet as can be that she is, she's a tough cookie. You know, the moment that she gets her hands on it, she have like those strong country hands.
She's a
know?
Country girl. You know, I thought it was really cool how she came into WWE, Mickey James, and that was as a stalker of Trish Stratus.
Yes. Do you love me now?
Yeah, that was great. That was very, very entertaining.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love it. And then before that, she was known as Alexis Lorray,
Yeah.
But you know that gimmick, like the crazy stalker gimmick, that's her. She does have crazy in the eyes, you know.
Oh, definitely. So, we talked about Paige Van Zant going into professional wrestling. She started out as a ring girl and then competing in the UFC. Mm-hmm. That's a match I would love to see, is you versus Paige Van Zant.
Oh, I'm all up for it. I'm not picky. I would like to get, you know, to be able to have opportunity to almost every girl out there in the business. I would not mind having a match against Paige. So far, my top match I would love to be able to have right now is the professor herself, Serena Deebs.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you're so, not only are you so stunning, so breathtaking, but your matches, I really appreciate you. You're a great wrestler. You're a great technical wrestler, and you're a formidable opponent for anyone, even like a Paige Van Zant. But what a lot of fans know you most from in WWE, and this is kind of wild, is when you were in WWE with your husband.
Yes.
Your real life wedding.
Yes.
Became a part of the show.
Yeah.
And that's a story I want you to tell that story, because it's pretty wild. This was her actual wedding.
Yes, it was my actual wedding. So before that, I was in WWE, did the first Mae Young Classic, and right before that, I was doing the Rosebud, like with Adam Rose. Like,
with Adam Rose. Yep, yeah, I remember.
I was
that.
a Rosebud.
Yeah.
But I think like a lot of people forgot about that. Thank God. but other than that, like during the time I was doing the Rosebud, I guess a lot of people recognize me dressing up as Laura Croft, like Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
You know, or either Catwoman, but then got in the Mae Young Classic, wrestled against the first Mae Young Classic, and wrestled against Candice LeRae. And she had a lot of experience and years on me. So as small as she is a firecracker. And then the wedding, the craziness of the wedding. So I think like a lot of people, they get this weird misconception that you know, any regular Joe Blow, you know, would be ticked off about like their wedding being ruined. But if you're asking like Renee Michelle, you know, Curtin, like the actual regular, you know, me, no, I wasn't mad. But if you're asking Renee Michelle Maverick, you know, from WWE, absolutely yes. I'm fuming. It's my wedding. You know, I thought it was like the coolest thing. So I did not know about the idea until 2 days prior to my wedding.
So we got to backtrack. So 2 days before your wedding, and and your wedding was a elaborate ceremony. I mean, you wore that dress that rivaled Lady Di's. You looked so incredibly gorgeous in that red dress, that long flowing tail on the end of the dress, which became part of the whole thing that was going on there with the fight and that happened at the wedding.
God.
This is your wedding. Your family is there.
Yeah.
Your grandmother, your 90-year-old grandmother is there.
Yeah.
And your husband walking down the aisle, and he gets tackled. They're coming for his 24/7 belt. Oh, this is crazy. This is a
it's
real wedding.
It's the most craziest thing ever. So I did have some family members that was completely confused, you know. Like my uncles and like my aunts was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" But obviously, you know, it was too late to even like clue them up what's happening. You know, my grandmother, she had to get wheeled down to cocktail hour because it's like, God forbid, I don't want her to have a stroke or a heart attack, you know, from watching all the chaos that's happening. You know, bless her heart. You know, she already did through a fit that I was wearing a red wedding dress, but then when she saw it, she absolutely fell in love with it. You know, so can you imagine if she like saw the chaos right after?
Oh my.
Like that wouldn't look good. So yeah, like I did not know the details or everything 2 days prior to the wedding. I thought it would be at the you know, the reception, not the ceremony, but 2 hours prior to me walking down. Then that's when I found out it's during the ceremony.
What did Vince McMahon's tell you this? Who told you
I have no idea. I'm just going with the flow. I'm like, well, I mean, okay. I mean, can we do the real thing first and then after do that? You know, because like, how are we going to explain this to my grandmother? How are we going to explain this to like my uncles and my aunt? You know, and you know they're not wrestling fans. They don't know anything about this. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not from that realm of that world. You know, it's just. I was like, okay, you know, I mean, like, I need a few drinks for this.
Well, that was wild. And then, you know, as that whole 24/7 progressed in WWE, you and your husband never got to, as you said in these promos, you never got to consummate the marriage. You never got your honeymoon.
No, we still haven't got our honeymoon. Still as of today, you know.
Still haven't got the honeymoon.
Still haven't got the honeymoon. I'm still waiting on it. Like our schedule is just so hectic and busy right now. I mean, I would like to have a honeymoon, but you know, honestly, it's not like I'm in like Rebby or Matt's situation, Matt Hardy and Rebby Hardy. You know, she still haven't had a honeymoon. She's been with Matt for like 10 years.
Wow.
And she still haven't had a honeymoon. Like, you know, God bless her soul.
Where do you want to go for your honeymoon?
That's a good one. I mean, I wouldn't mind like Azulik, Tulum. You know, Tulum would be nice. Maybe like Bora Bora, like somewhere nice and tropical and like clear blue waters, you know.
Yeah, love
fresh
that.
food.
I'll tell you, my favorite beach in the world is Mondello. Mondello Beach in Sicily, and that water is like a swimming pool. It's like a giant swimming pool, and they have the villas right there on the water. Great food. Mm-hmm. I would recommend that spot. It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you gotta show me pictures later.
I will show you some pictures.
Like somewhere nice and tropical and warm, you know, and like, you know, fresh food. I'm a foodie, you know. Like, even though I look skinny, I look like a little skinny.
Well, you're in luck, as you know, because I cook for you.
Oh, see, a man after my own heart. It's food.
I made you one of my specialty dishes. You know, it's lighter here, coming into all the heat, especially here in Florida. It's almost summertime. We're in June, and I made you a soy and San Pellegrino a turkey tenderloin, and I made you some marinated grilled asparagus for today. So
that sounds delicious.
We're gonna have that with the wines from Massimo.
That is perfect. Good food and wine on top of that. I love it.
Yes, I love it. I'm a chef. I love to cook. To cook for a woman as beautiful as you for my birthday.
Oh man, my husband's in trouble. I'm sorry, honey. No, I cook. Believe it or not, I'm on some aspects I'm a little old fashioned. You know, like I
love that.
Kind of like the male female gender roles. You know, some aspects of that.
Yeah, that's great. What are some of your favorite dishes to cook?
Oh gosh, so my favorite dishes is ropa vieja. It's a Cuban dish. It's like a shredded flank with like black beans and rice, and then mondoros, which is like a sweet plantains with. But
I know those plantains.
What I like to do, I like to use the sugar and everything to make like a syrup, like a sugar syrup on top of that.
That sounds good.
And then I went to this restaurant, and it's called Cowfish, and you know they have like these mini little sushi. Like type of burgushi, like it's like a burger and a sushi all at once. So I decided to make something like that, but instead of like the little sushi forms, I actually made it into like a giant. It looked like a giant meatloaf, but when you cut in the center, it's like a giant roll. So I call it like a hamburger roll, like,
Oh, that sounds
so it's
good.
like all the hamburgers, like I have the meat and the cheese and the spinach and all of that, like swirl into one. So I
All
kind of
together.
roll it, yeah, all together,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
roll it up and I bake it in the oven and everything. And I served, like a bunch of my deeps, like Serena and a bunch of the guys and girls. They're like, "Is Renee coming over? Is she cooking?" So
That sounds delicious. I love to stuff meat too. Over the weekend, I
mm-hmm.
stuffed. I made gorgonzola and garlic stuffed
Yeah.
steak. So I stuff it before I grill it.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on the grill, and it's
Yeah.
delicious. I love to. I've always loved to cook.
Yeah, same here. Or I make like the fire layer, baked mac and cheese, but get each different layer of different type of cheese.
Different cheese. Oh, it
Yeah,
sounds
different
great.
cheese, and then I add the guota on top. Or gosh, I made like parsley lemon baked, turkey with bacon strips on top of it.
Oh, it sounds
like when
awesome.
people when they make the turkey during the holiday, the breast always gets dry. But if you add the bacon strips on top, it keeps the moisture there. And then you can use the bacon strips and tomatoes and all the juice and everything to make your own turkey gravy. With the mashed potatoes and.
Sounds great. That's why when you grill turkey, like when I grilled this turkey, you have to continually baste it while you're grilling it. Take it off and baste it to keep it moist. Keep it from
Or like collard
drying out.
greens or like honey, butter, honey, cornbread. So it's like a mixture
love that.
between.
Yeah.
Or like I'll make like Yorkshire pudding. So it's like no. I like watching like Gordon Ramsay dishes, so I make some of that to like incorporate like the American dishes and Southern dishes and wherever that I go. Even when I went to Japan, I learned some of the dishes out there. When I went to England, I learned some of the dishes there. Even like wherever I go, I'm learning some of these dishes or like Filipino food. Like
I love Filipino. I love the Filipino barbecue that I make with pork and
pork
pineapples.
sinigang. I make that.
Oh yeah. That's good. You're the perfect woman, actually.
Oh, thank you. So I try.
So let's talk a little bit about something interesting that you have going on as well. You are studying to become a priestess.
Yes. So currently, right now, with the religion that I was born under, is called Lukumi. Other people will known to be called it Santeria. So during the time is like a religion back in the day that was hidden during the conquering before like color or skin color was a thing. It was a conquering of religions, and so the religion originally came from like over in Nigeria from the Yoruba tribe, and they call it Lukumi. So then when the Spaniards and Catholicism and all that stuff took over, in order to trick the slave masters back then, we replaced the faces with Catholic faces. So, you came over, you saw like the altar, like what it looked like, and you said like, oh, this would look really beautiful, and I had to explain to you like what it was.
Yeah, the dolls in this setup, I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah, so but then if you actually look at the actual faces of it, they look really hideous. But those who are not born underneath it or don't understand it, they think it's like voodoo or something like that. But like that's how people think when they don't understand.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. It's like the language, like in South Carolina, I told you, they have like the Gullah and the Geechee language.
Yeah.
Just like a hidden language they had to hide from the slave masters.
Yes. It's the same thing, but now like, you have like Latin speakers and, still like, the back in the day, the Yoruba tribe, language intertwine all into one with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's awesome. So what's the process like? How long before you'll officially become a priestess?
It's forever, and God forbid if I have to wear white for a whole year. So it's a long process. It's always something new.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, did you have aspirations to do that all your life?
No, not at all. Like, my family is very diverse. So, but like my grandmother, she was Baptist. Some of my family members, they were Christian and Catholic. I dated a guy and I tried Buddhism before. I've been over in Japan. I lived over in Japan for like about a year, and I tried Shintoism, but somehow I still reverted back to Lukumi or Santeria. But that's more so my calling card. I'm not the type of person that press like religion onto others. It's like, you can believe whatever you like, just as long as like don't be a dick, like as long as something for good. And You know, if it's like for your good well-being, mentally, spiritually, you know, psychologically, by all means, you know, don't try to like force others into a
Force it
religion.
onto other
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and if they're curious and ask questions, you know, if the person is reciprocated enough to understand, you know, instead of like, you know, you deal with those like, oh, you got to be this and try to force it down your throat. It's like, well, that's the wonderful thing. Everyone's different. You know, if everyone was the same, it'd be kind of boring.
Exactly, of course. And a lot of people who claim to be the most religious are sometimes the most judgmental and you know, so
Or
it's
they're not so holy
yeah,
themselves.
exactly,
So,
exactly.
but other than that, like, you know, regardless of what religion that, you know, anyone so choose to be, if they had like one page, it's just don't be a dick. That's it.
That's a great I like that line. I like that. That should be up in the church when you're a
Yeah.
priestess.
Don't
Yeah,
be
I
a dick.
love that. Yeah, so talk about some stuff you have coming up because you and I are going to be together in Jacksonville next weekend, which is actually my official birthday coming up.
Yes, yes. So we both have a signing to do in Jacksonville for River Wrestling. Wait, River Wrestling Con?
I think it's River City
River City Wrestling Con.
in Jacksonville, Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
And then after that, I have Shine. So I'll be in Clearwater, Florida for Shine. I'm going against the Woad, also known as the Weapon of Mass Destruction. Yet again, you know, because the first time that she got me the last show, you know, like, you know, she does have a big derriere, and I didn't realize how I didn't realize what I was getting myself into.
I was
You
the
know?
victim of that in a match with Summer Steel, the Buns of Steel.
Oh,
They call her the
gosh.
Buns of Distraction. I don't know if you know the move.
Buns
that
of distraction. Oh, if you get in the ring with Wold, you know, there's a reason why she's called the Weapon of Mass Destruction, because it nearly cleaned my clock, because I'm charging at her, and then she like got me with her ass, and
Oh yeah.
you know, next thing I know, I was seeing black and white, like black spots and stars, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But at the end, like I had to choke her out. I had to choke her out with the whip. I had to choke her out at the end.
I see. She
Like,
had to get her. You had to get your revenge, and I
yeah.
still haven't got my revenge on Summer Steel. For anyone that saw what happened there, she was the Buns of Distraction. She distracted me at the pool in the vignette the day before the tag match that I had against Stephan Bonner and her.
Oh, yeah?
And she tricked me to come up to her hotel room.
Oh.
Stephan Bonner, UFC Hall of Famer, choked me from behind.
What
They
you doing up
set
in the
me
hotel
up.
room?
Well, she was just she was trying to she wanted me
Yeah.
to learn a few holds from me, a few of my
Oh.
secret maneuvers.
Oh, yeah.
And so she did in that vignette, and then the day of the match, she got me with her ass. She did like the Iceman King Parsons move.
Oh.
And she jumped up and hit me on the side of the
Don't
temple.
it give you a concussion?
Oh yeah,
I think
she
Wold
knocked
gave
me
me a
across the ring with that ass.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the same thing with Woe. She knocked me across the ring with. Yeah, so we both have something
We
in common.
both have been the victim.
Yeah,
yes,
of asses.
the victim of toxic ass for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, Renee Michelle, we are getting ready to segue into our next segment.
Ooh.
We're going to be welcoming a man that comes to us from overseas, from Italia. He is our official wine sommelier here
Oh.
at the law firm.
Magnifico.
And his name is Massimo Battista, and we're going to try some wines
Massimo
together.
Battista. Am I saying that
Yes,
right?
yes, Massimo Battista. So we are about to welcome Massimo for our next segment here with the gorgeous Renee Michelle.
Ooh.
All right, we are back with the gorgeous lady Renee Michelle, and she was just telling me about a special Thanksgiving dish that she makes for the wrestlers. They all look forward to making it. My mouth is watering. Tell us a little about that, Renee.
Oh, so I make a garlic, lemon, parsley turkey with bacon on top. So I get like the honey crispy type of bacon. So, you know, a lot of people, they struggle with having their turkey dry on the breast, but if you pop it in for a little bit, then take it back out, and then you put the bacon strips on top of the turkey, it keeps the turkey moist. So all those juices and all the butter that's like seeping in between the skin and the breast of the turkey, as well as like I put like the onions and lemons and stuff it all in there with the turkey, and put like, you know, tomatoes and stuff to make the gravy, and as well as either it could be like cornstarch or, Yeah, I do the cornstarch to make the gravy for the turkey, and then if you make like the garlic mashed potatoes
Oh my
with the
God.
butter, and then like mix it all up together with the 5-layer baked mac and cheese, the bacon wrapped Brussels sprouts, or like the bacon wrapped like little mini sausages with brown sugar. And then, gosh, there's a lot of things that I make. I also like Yorkshire pudding,
Love
and
it.
then as well like pot roast.
I got to tell you, Renee, and I think I speak for every man listening. Your husband is the luckiest man on planet Earth.
Yeah,
My
he's
God.
yeah, he should be lucky.
Yes. Hopefully he knows, he appreciates, and you can see from my headband that we're welcoming another special guest. He's been on the show before, on the TBT show. You saw him on with John Elites and Mike Dowd, as well as with my lovely co-host Britt Garcia from one of the earlier episodes. And this man has become the official wine sommelier here at the Berman Law Group. He comes to us straight from Italy. And once again, Massimo Battista. Great to see you, Massimo.
Nice to see you. How are you?
Hey,
You guys look
Massimo.
fantastic.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Massimo. Nice to meet you.
Massimo.
Now, I'll tell you, we told Massimo that we had this gorgeous woman coming, and we couldn't keep this man away. And he brought his wines, some delicious wines for us to try. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to Massimo and Renee, so that we can all try these wines, and Massimo can explain them.
That's good. Together forever. So
Together forever. Is that how it
the
is?
name of the company is the Real Chooch Wine.
Yeah.
So all my wine comes from Italy. Of course, I'm from Italy.
Yes.
And I pick the best wine. Why? Because it's like all family vineyards
Yeah.
that have been in business for a long time. And my grandfather owns one of the vineyard.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be like something unique today. We're going to try the sparkling Pinot Grigio.
Sparkling Pinot Grigio.
It's like a gin in the bottle.
I like that, and I love the fact that you have like the woman figure here, like very curvaceous.
Let me see.
I had an
kinda like
idea.
Kind
you.
of looks like a genie coming out.
How amazing would it be if there were a wine with this absolutely amazing, perfect figure of a woman, the Mistress,
Oh,
Lady Renee
I
wine?
like
I think that would be
that.
fabulous.
A wine bottle with my figure.
Bottle with that perfect
I'm
figure.
telling you, it's going to be
And
fantastic.
the possible, the possibilities
This is the man
are
here.
endless.
Yes.
So this is sparkling Pinot Grigio.
Yeah.
Why it's unique? First thing, because I picked it. And the other thing, it goes with all kind of food. For
Ooh.
example, ladies first.
Gracias.
It goes with the spicy calamari.
Yeah.
It goes with all kind of, it goes with pizza. It goes with the pasta. It goes with all a bunch of Italian food. Even a lot of spicy like Mexican food.
Oh, I
This
love
is
spicy
very
food.
like seductive. It really like makes it low with your mouth when you drink it.
Yes, I
Oh,
like that.
yes.
Salute.
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 Salute. For the Real Chooch Wine Company.
Yes.
Oh, that's fabulous. Fabulous.
I like it.
You see, it's you don't get the alcohol
Yeah.
strong. It's very smooth.
And it's smooth and it has like a little bit of a kick at the end with it.
So, Renee, what are some of your favorite styles of wine to drink?
I would say, I mean, it really depends on the mood. I would say I'm definitely a red blend type of girl. The red blend that I absolutely love is called Dark Cloud. So there's you can find it at Total Wines or whatever, but that's also the wine that I actually had at the wedding too. Because I'm really picky. Like, I want something like not too bitter, but I also want something sweet. So the red blend pretty much works for me. I am open up to like trying different things. But the red blend, Black Cloud is my favorite so far.
I think just to switch it up with the, you can go with the Venice for the wedding would be perfect.
Yes.
So you feel like you're in Venice.
Yes, I love it, and I love like
And this
the
is a Prosecco.
yeah.
I
I do.
love
I do love prosecco. I do love. I like all types of things. Like if I taste it and I like it, I'll tell you I like it. If I don't, I'm like,
So the great news, we're gonna do the wedding for you.
Oh, another
You're
wedding? You're gonna
you're gonna order my wine.
Are you proposing, Massimo?
Are you proposing to me? Like, is this how it works? Is this
Couldn't
how we're
blame
doing
you
it?
for that.
Like, can I have more than one wedding?
You never know. Everything is
In
possible.
many cultures, you can have many husbands,
Mm. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, men. Some men they can have many wives. Why can't I have many husbands?
I think you should. As woman as amazing as you.
I agree
One
with you
husband is not enough.
100%.
Yeah. They'll never starve. I can tell you that much.
Oh man, I'll tell you, this lucky man, and we're lucky men to be here with you, and we're lucky to be here with Massimo. These wines are absolutely fabulous. Now, tell her about the name here on this wine glass, the Real Chooch. She may not be familiar with the term.
Well, the Real Chooch is the wine company, but it means something that American Italians they use still now, especially in movies like Sopranos, you know, the Godfather. Like these movies, they use this expression, capiche. You know, forget about one of the wine is forget about it too.
Yeah.
But of course, the chooch is like when you're little and your grandfather asks you to grab a glass and you dropped it. He goes like, "Hey, what are you, a chooch?"
Yeah.
That's what.
So it's so interesting
Like a
because
klutz. Like, what are you, a klutz?
exactly.
Like in a good way, in a funny way.
Like you're drunk.
We talked about the term coming from the different mob movies, and the last time I was enjoying these glasses of wine with Massimo, we were alongside the most corrupt cop in American history, Mike Dowd, and one of the most notorious hitmen from the Gambino crime family, John Elite. So we have all kind of interesting guests in here.
Honestly, I
don't
heard
we,
about the
Massimo?
Gambinos.
Yes. So John Elite couldn't be with us today, but he's a partner of ours. He does his podcast here as well at the Berman Law Group. And I just want to kind of tell people 10X Law, and you'll see the number on the screen. Anywhere in the country, if you've been involved in an accident, reach out to us, 10X Law. On a serious note, we have the very best crack legal team here at the Berman Law Group and affiliates all around the country in all 50 states.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Wow.
The best law group in the world.
Absolutely,
Right?
absolutely.
They're on top of the game, and let me tell you something. They know what they're doing, and they're like very straight, direct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I never saw a lawyer like this in Florida, especially. It's hard to find good lawyers.
Exactly.
In
We're very
Florida?
lucky. Oh,
Why
yeah.
is that?
I don't know why is that.
A lot of you're going to find that there are a lot of these firms that they're not dedicated to you, to the client. They go in so many different directions, and Berman Law Group, we're dedicated to the individual, and we give you that custom concern, and it's legitimate. And 10X Law is really the best nationwide, and. I want to just say that I would hope that this gorgeous woman would never be in an accident, but if she was, I would hope that she would reach out to us.
Oh God, I mean, yeah, definitely for sure, especially like with the way of the world going in today.
That's right. A lot of crazy people out there on the roads.
I'm not trying to get Amber Heard out here, so.
Yeah, did you follow that? Amber Heard,
God.
Johnny Depp?
It was beautiful. Finally, like they said, the first man that wins against a woman.
Yes,
That's
yes.
a beautiful thing.
But you could tell by looking at her, she got crazy in the eyes.
Yeah, she was. I've said it before, and I don't say this proudly, but I have been with women in the past that make Amber Heard look like June Cleaver. My taste in women throughout the years was not always the best.
Where do you find them? Let me fix it a little bit. Well, you're like 100% Italian today. Look at you.
Yeah, look
I'll
at
tell
you.
you, I am Italiano blooded,
100%.
but I do have that little quarter Irish in me, that 25% Irish. But like I say, people will say to me, "You don't look Irish," but I always say, "But you should see my temper."
Just a
Yes,
touch.
yes.
Just a touch. You have a little touch today.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yes. Yes. Did it match me? Well, yes.
From now on, you're gonna wear it all the time.
Yeah.
Think about that's
Is it raining?
it's very sunny out. Something going on, Bella. What are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on back here. All right,
He's
so
making it rain back here.
Where did you get this jacket? They look fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This
you
is
like
actually made in Italy.
Yeah.
This jacket.
I picked it out.
And yes,
You
she
did?
picked that out.
Yes.
She did pick that out for me. That's true. Yeah, I had her pick that out for me. I knew she's coming on the show, and she told me to go with this one, and I said yeah. Although I don't know if it is as nice as the jackets that this man has. You've in addition to being a wine sommelier, you also have a great clothing line yourself, Massimo.
Custom suits. We
Yeah.
make Mr. Batista clothing. When you need a nice custom suits, call Massimo.
Yeah.
We make people happy and look like
I
a movie
love
stars.
a man in a nice, well-tailored suit. You know, it like shows his figure very well.
Oh yeah, especially when you're like perfect body like mine.
Yeah.
He's in great shape, you know.
Yeah.
out.
I can't resist.
I'm
I can
just saying
dance
that,
for you here. Do a little dance for you.
Yeah,
on that
that's
birthday.
that's beautiful. Where did you learn that?
I don't know. That's a trick I've always
Were you
done.
born like that?
You know, I can dance
like
for you without
dancing.
moving my feet.
It's
you know?
just dancing.
Nobody can
Do
do
you
that.
feel like dancing? I can even do it to the beat. Yeah, well, let's get back to the wines here, Massimo. Tell us again, what are we drinking here?
Right here is the beautiful sparkling Pinot Grigio. We are
Yes.
the only one in USA that we have a sparkling Pinot Grigio, guys. You
Ooh.
understand? This is something like unique, seductive. I
Yeah.
told you, mix your love in your mouth. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It goes with all kind of food. Spicy food, calamari, pasta, pizza,
Yeah.
chicken parmigiano. Veal parmigiano.
Oh, yeah.
You know that I know that
Absolutely.
You know that we know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, and I'll tell you, I love spicy food. And I was telling Renee earlier, we were snacking on some spicy food, and I said I love spicy food, and I could just imagine how well this goes with it.
Listen, believe it or not, it's like perfect for that, because it's not too sweet. It's perfect. Like you know, it's like exactly the way it's supposed to be the Pinot Grigio, but with a touch of sparkling.
Yes.
Fantastic.
What do you
It's
think about
fantastic.
the touch of sparkling.
Yeah. I think that's where that kick is coming from at the end.
That's
Yeah.
why it's a gin in the bottle.
It's not overly carbonated at all. It's like you say, it's very subtle. Very subtle.
Yeah, it definitely will go great with the calamari, especially if you have the calamari not only with like the salsa, the cocktail sauce, but you know, like some calamari that like serve with like the sweet and sour like salsa.
Oh, yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. And you know what I like when I make calamari?
The sweet chili sauce. That's what it's called. Sweet chili sauce.
I make calamari. I like to have some melted gorgonzola cheese on my calamari.
Well, you're Americano now. This is Americano.
I don't know.
In Italy, we don't do that.
Well, I'm
got-
a
you gotta
chef
go
and
with
I
the sweet
experiment.
chili sauce.
And
I
you know,
gotta bring you
I
to
want to
Italy.
tell you this. I want to tell you this because I always fuse different foods together.
Yeah.
And Massimo might say that this
It's
is
a blasphemy.
blasphemy. But like I make a pasta salad with and it's like a Mexican fusion. It has guacamole. I make an avocado oil dressing and cold shrimp and nice beefsteak tomatoes with my spiral pasta. So I always blend. I'm a fusion. I'm an Americano. You know.
Yeah, Americano.
Yeah.
No, he does his own dishes.
So
That's
let me
good.
ask you a question. With your pasta, do you break your pasta to put in a pot, or you just let it be?
I just let it be. I put a little touch of salt in the pot and I just let it be.
No, I think
No.
You're talking about maybe when you do the linguine
Yeah, they
spaghetti.
like I see
Oh,
like
yeah,
people like they
yeah,
break
yeah,
it,
you break it.
and then I'm standing there and I'm
likes to
sitting
break
there
it. Yeah,
and I'm
likes to
sitting there
break
and I'm looking and I'm like, what are you doing?
I don't
This
break
is
it.
not-
No, I don't break it. No, I don't break it. No.
You don't break the pasta? Okay, good.
No.
Do you
Good.
like to break the pasta?
No, you don't break the pasta.
Listen, you can break the pasta together. Sometimes we can break it.
No.
It tastes better with the touch.
No.
With your touch.
You gotta let it like boil and seep in all together, right? And then after that, you have the olive oil and the water, and then it boils it all together and keep it nice and soft and everything. Then after that, you rinse it out. You put some more of the olive oil. You put the like the seasoning, like the parsley, and then a little bit of butter, and then you put let it like
And I have
so the noodles don't stick together.
I have a surprise to announce to everyone. It's coming to Canada's Top Combat Sports Podcast, the Hannibal TV. I do have a cooking show episode coming up with the gorgeous lady Renee Michelle.
Ooh.
We have an exciting cooking show coming up.
Yes.
Can I cook too? Some pasta?
Yeah, you can cook with me.
absolutely.
Mine's gonna be
We'll
simple.
cook together.
Absolutely.
Together forever.
Yes.
I love it.
Always.
We can make some cherry tomato pasta with basil.
Yes.
Oh, I love cherry tomato.
Simple,
Yes.
Yeah, I
simple.
do like that.
And then I
Yeah.
also love to have the spicy Italian sausage with the ground
Sausage.
beef. Yeah.
We love
Yeah.
sausage.
Oh,
And
yeah,
the spicy Italian
definitely.
sausage with the ground beef and mix it together.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Let me tell you, in Florida we have a good sausage.
Oh yeah?
Is our friend, the Boys Market, they sell the best sausage.
Yeah.
Really?
That's
I'm
Joe,
all-
right? That's Joe.
Giuseppe,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, our friend
He
Joe. is
sells a
great
good,
guy.
like, it's like, better, believe it or not, it's better than Italy. Because they
Really?
put less fat inside and tastes so good. It's like, listen, they do a good job. I was like
Look,
shocked.
I'm all about it.
Sausage.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good for
Okay.
food. I'm good for a good sausage.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm trying to say.
Well, that sounds,
You
I'm
know
getting a
what-
little excited here hearing this. I think I need
You know
a cold
what I'm
shower.
trying to
She
say.
wants a good sausage.
Yeah, I want a good sausage. You know
Need a
what I'm
cold
saying? That's
shower,
a hard
man.
With the
ass.
broccoli rabe.
Like, can I have
Need a
it?
cold
Yeah,
shower
You know,
over
I don't
here.
want a plain one. I don't want a no flavorless one. I want one with flavor. Okay.
With the flavor.
Yeah.
You want a real
yeah.
sausage
yes.
with the flavor Italian.
Absolutely.
I got you.
A good
God,
Italian
thank you.
sausage.
We're going to get it from the Boys Market, the best
Yeah,
sausage.
the best sausage.
All right? When you try that one, you're going to be like, seriously, nobody makes like that in USA.
Yeah.
I've been here for like 10 years.
Yeah.
In Florida.
Like I'll never convert.
No, when you go Italian sausage, you cannot go back.
Yes. Oh, okay. So there you go.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, everybody's in
there's
trouble.
No doubt.
Do you like spicy or like just mild? Like what do you like?
It depends on the taste, but I'll go for the spicy. I need a little kick.
They got both spicy.
Yeah.
And, well, listen, the spicy a little bit aphrodisiac too sometimes. You
Yes,
gotta be
it
careful
is.
of that.
It is. But look, I can
He
handle.
puts a lot of spicy when he cooks,
Look,
right?
I'm a
The
spab
crushed
salute.
red
I'm a
pepper.
spicy. I'm a spicy type of girl. But if I need to go mild, I'll go mild too. And if I need to go sweet or sour, I'll do that too.
You're flexible.
Yes, I'm adaptable.
What do you think about that?
She's flexible. She's gorgeous. She can cook. She loves sausage. Perfect woman.
That's a good combination.
Yeah.
I don't
Come
think
on.
they make women like you anymore.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
Are you a limited edition?
yeah. I'm
One
a
of a
rarity. I'm a
kind.
unicorn.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm a unicorn.
Ah, I knew it. You are a unicorn.
I'm a unicorn. You're like hard to catch. You know, a
One of a
rarity and
kind,
hard to
yeah.
catch.
You don't have any sister for me?
No, no.
Ah,
Can we clone you? Is there any scientists who can clone you?
Good luck if they can catch me.
well, in case, any friend that looks like you, that she's flexible like you, and she likes spicy sausage. and
Her
regular
name is
sausage.
Mandy Leone, right? Could set him
Um,
up with, right?
That's
No, actually, I have a good one.
Oh,
Do you like Persians?
I love virgins.
Do you
Oh,
like Persians that are very curvy?
Oh,
Oh, I do.
that's
Oh,
okay.
yeah?
We don't
I
know
was a
what's happening.
Persian.
She's
Yeah,
talking to
yeah,
me
yeah.
now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
well,
but
it's
she's
right.
not. She's not in wrestling. She's not
No,
in
she's
wrestling.
not.
No.
But she's curvy.
Yes,
very
very curvy.
All right. Age? What's the age?
She's probably around my age, a single mother.
Oh.
But she definitely have her education and got her life together and stuff. Here. Actually, as a matter of fact, maybe I could pull her profile.
While you're doing that,
While you do that,
Renee.
you guys could.
While you're doing that, Renee, I want to let your friend know that I was Hussein Hassan Vasiri, the illegitimate son of the Iron Sheik, for years in pro wrestling, and I can speak some Farsi. I managed Prince of Persia Kamal Shalarus
Thank
throughout
you.
his UFC career, and a lot of fans still think that I am a Persian, but I am not. Although I
You're
did
not?
used to have the big mustache curled up, and I actually have my robe. We can cut a promo together in my robe. My
Oh, I
gold,
would love that.
my gold chic robe. I have it in the car. My beautiful
Can you
robe.
please wear that thing next
Yeah,
time?
I'm gonna wear it today.
Today?
Yeah, I couldn't carry everything
my
in here.
God, I love
So
it.
my
Love
girlfriend, funny fact about my girlfriend, she was on the Doctor 90210. You know, like the two doctors.
Beverly
that-
Hills.
Yeah.
90210.
Yeah, no. It's like the breast exam, people that does like the plastic surgeries and
Oh,
stuff like that.
okay.
She was on that season. I was supposed to be there physically with her, but obviously I can't because wrestling. But she was on that show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's a good girl.
I thought you meant Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, no, not the soap opera. or
Question:
anything.
when did you start the wrestling? Like, it was a long time ago.
So my debut was March 29, 2013. When I went to my first wrestling show, it was September 1st, 2012. So I was training for 3 months, and then I was thrown into the wolves. And, the rest is history from
She's
there.
amazing. You've got to see her in the ring. Amazing.
Oh,
You know
God,
he's the
I'm
best,
shit.
right?
I'm the
He's best
shit.
wrestler.
I was a great wrestler in my day, but I have to bow down to the youngsters, and I've got to say, this lady, Renee Michelle, she gives 100% full endorsement of the king. She gets my full
So you're
endorsement.
super
She's
strong,
amazing.
right?
I'm an old soul.
I know, but you're a strong woman, like to do wrestling. You know, you can pick somebody up and just like.
Only when I have to.
Oh.
But I
Love
prefer not to
that.
get my nails broken. Here she is.
Oh my. Oh. Thank you so
Oh.
much. That's a nice gift.
Oh my, yeah, she's I can see the Persian.
The
yes.
Persian is thank you for this
Yes.
gift. When can we invite her for some wine?
She lives in
or
Las
something?
Vegas. I gotta get her down here.
And she's not involved in the wrestling?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not
Well,
at all.
you know, you can tell her in all seriousness that, you know, I was a Persian for years in pro wrestling, and I did. One of my best friends that I managed throughout his UFC career is one of the most famous Persian Iranian athletes in the world, the Prince of Persia, Kamal Shalarus from UFC.
Oh.
Yeah, he and I are been best friends for many years. So she'll certainly know of us, and everybody knows the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik was my manager in Atlanta, but he kind of went off for some party favors and disappeared into the streets. He's a crazy
Iron
guy.
Sheik. Oh, he's a
You know,
he's a
he's
character.
kind of a character. Yeah.
He is a character. He is definitely
That's
a
why you're
character.
unique.
Wasn't he with Who was he with? He was with like a lovely lady.
Iron Sheik's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a lovely wife.
Wasn't he?
that,
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Wasn't he like a
Did you
genie or
notice
something
this
like
piece
that?
right here?
This is a Florida MMA Hall of Fame ring. I got 2017 in Tampa
Nice.
at RFC. I was awarded
These
this
guys,
ring.
real deal. Let me tell you.
Look, he got a snazzy watch too. Look
Yeah.
at him.
Oh yeah, and
Just
the gold,
blinging
and,
out, the
the
bling-
gold, and
the
the
gold
most of
chain,
all
the
is
the
this.
Italian-
This is it
Italian-
right here. This is
The
the
shades, the Italian.
this is the
headband.
capper right here.
But
you
the
know.
jacket today is like.
Thank you. You know, this is my
I
birthday
have
show,
good
so I
taste.
appreciate it. Yeah, she does. She
Yeah.
picked.
You know what I
she
also
picked this
like?
out for me.
Weirdly but strangely, men in corsets. So back in the day, you know how like guys that have like the vest and everything, but in the back of it, they used to be corsets for men. So they used to tie the corsets in the back,
I have it.
and it gives the illusion of the men like shape and
Oh
structure.
wow!
So you can
But
see
then-
my six pack. My
Yeah,
body comes
but
out.
then
I
it's
got
like
you,
it's
I
like
got it.
cut like a vest,
I love
which
it.
is like a dying art within
Never seen that
itself.
before.
You know,
I don't
You
know.
know,
I know
it's-
corset, but I've never seen a.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah,
That's
but like
cool,
back in the
actually.
day, like a lot of corsets wasn't just for women. Like for me, like I wear a corset.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like, you know, a lot of like, you know, 1950s Hollywood glam. Like that's my look.
I love it.
I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. But for men, like back in like the Renaissance era or whatever, they used to wear corsets, but it's like a vest corset, and it's really, really
I love it. I love
gorgeous
that idea.
looking.
You know, I have two ideas for you, gorgeous Renee. I think
Oh.
for photo shoots, I think one is absolutely. We talked about it when we were at the bar you have at your house. That Raquel Welch photo shoot where she's out
yeah.
where the famous one where she's
I'll do it. I'll
yeah
do it.
oh yeah like the junk that would look amazing. And another one of as I look at you now, you have to do the Jessica Rabbit
Oh,
photo
really?
shoot. Oh my God, yeah, you are Jessica Rabbit.
Well, yeah, I guess some
Yes.
people call me the Jessica Rabbit of wrestling as well.
Yes.
That's cool.
I'm all for it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
And one thing I love about Renee is when you give her ideas, she very often she says, "I'm all for it." I love that. She's game for all the different concepts and ideas.
She's open
Oh, yeah.
mind. Open mind.
Yes.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Corset for men.
Ah, yeah, yes. Oh, yeah,
See?
yeah.
In
Oh,
the back.
I see what you're talking about.
But in
That's
the
like
front,
when
it looks like a vest. But in the back, it's like a
Because
corset.
that's
Ah, but you
something
talk
like-
about like those ones.
when
Really,
you
no.
go to the
one
gym.
I'm talking about is just a little.
Yeah,
like,
but that's what they also do it for men as well.
You know
See?
what that's
if you
like
look
is
really
when
close.
you go to the gym, the Velcro belt.
Yeah,
I
it's
wear
no
that.
different.
Yeah, 'cause
It's no
It's
different.
better
That's
when you
cool.
lift
Yeah.
weights and, it straps you in. Yeah.
we should do like
That's
something
what
like
it's
that.
like.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
make one for you.
Make
man.
one
You
like
need
that.
one.
Yeah, but
Because
it's really good.
Your body's gonna look like you. Right?
But like in the
I like
front,
it.
in the
Okay.
front,
That's
it looks.
That's it. Give me go. That's it.
Yeah, but in the front, it's like a vest. But in the back, it's like a corset. But like back in the day,
That's a good idea.
back in the day, men used to wear that, and it's like a dying art.
So what it basically when you're wearing, like, say you're wearing a suit jacket like this, it would
Yeah.
go under the suit jacket.
Under the suit, it's the vest.
It's not so much to show the vest. It's
The cinching in, but
cinching-
also
yeah,
it's
yeah,
also
yeah.
to show that as well.
Yeah.
But then like women, they absolutely for me, I can't speak for
Mm-hmm.
all women, but for me, it actually shows the figure of the men. Just like how women, when women wear corsets and stuff, it shows off the figure of the
Yeah.
woman. Same thing with women, they actually love the figure of a man. It's go both ways.
It's the same thing as, like I said, when you go to work out, and I'm old school with the belt, with the weight
Yeah.
belt. I wear the Velcro one. It straps you
Yeah.
in. It's the same, essentially the same thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically the same thing. But if you honestly think that women are not watching, they're watching.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're watching.
Obviously.
I'm gonna make one for myself too. Can't wait.
Yeah.
One for
But
you,
it looks
one for
really
me.
nice, right? It
No,
looks,
listen.
like, really
Believe it or not,
snazzy,
makes.
really nice.
But believe it makes you even
Like-
your body looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we like.
Yeah. You and I both get it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I get it. So this is a prosecco now, right?
The next one is gonna be Venice Prosecco. Prosecco
Yes.
DOCG. Don't forget about that.
Tell us what that
DOCG.
means. Explain that to us.
Di origine controllata, geografica. From the region that we make only Prosecco. That's why it's DOCG. That's the only region they make Prosecco only. That's it. That's why it's called DOCG.
So essentially, a prosecco, for people that don't know wine, is likened to champagne or sparkling wine, right? It's
Bravissimo,
very similar
bravissimo,
style,
bravissimo.
right? And you have in the champagne world, you have the word brut. That's used BRUT for a drier
Yes.
champagne. So essentially, that's similar to a prosecco. And just to explain, the DOCG is the region where that prosecco emanates.
When you're involved in an accident, it can shatter your entire life. Suddenly, you have physical injuries, lost wages, medical bills, and you are stressed. You don't have to do this on your own. Don't leave your life in pieces. Call the Berman Law Group, and we'll help you put the pieces of your life back together. We aggressively represent clients who have been injured, but if there's no recovery, you don't owe us any fees or costs. We have recovered our clients over $250 million, and we want to get you the money you deserve.
That's that's
Finito.
what everything
Yeah.
is. But this one is a brut too, because it's not too sweet.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, the Prosecco is not supposed to be super sweet.
No.
The
Yes.
real deal is supposed to be the middle, you know?
Yeah.
Just a touch.
So what would you say? What type of food would be
With the
well
Prosecco?
With the brut?
With the Prosecco brut, you can, believe it or not, you can do Mexican food.
Yes.
Mexican food, guacamole, tacos.
You know what I would have with it? Oysters raw in the half shell.
But that's
Cold
that's
oysters.
that's mandatory. That goes with that, of course.
Oh, because
Yeah.
I'm
they're
giving
melting
like
in your
other
mouth
options
with
too.
the
Oh,
bread.
yeah,
But
yeah.
with
Yeah.
oysters, this is amazing too. But
Yeah.
it's like, believe it or not, it goes with the Mexican
Yeah.
food, spicy, with a little touch.
You know, and I, for years, ran a distributor in South Carolina, a wine distributor, and we imported a pomegranate wine from Armenia, and Riva pomegranate, and we used to do the Pama Secco, and it's
Secco.
particularly around the holidays. We do Pama Secco. We would have a young lady nowhere near as gorgeous as Renee, but we had the young ladies that did the promotions with me, and we would sample these around the holidays because it was red and it was fabulous for Christmas time.
I love you.
He's such a charmer.
Listen, I'm telling
like
you,
a
I never
charmer.
met anybody. He's unique. He's
Yes. Yes.
unique. Between you are limited edition, but this is limited edition too.
Well, I'll tell you,
You see him?
I'm
He's
a once in a
beautiful.
lifetime.
you are absolutely one of a kind. One of a kind.
Yes.
Salute,
Salute.
salute, salute. For the real church. And
Yeah,
then
so
I'm
let's
cool.
pop open this prosecco.
You wanna touch your prosecco now? You wanna
Oh,
feel
yeah,
it?
we want to try that prosecco. We're talking about it.
this
We
is
want
difference,
to
yes.
want it to hit the palates.
That's it.
Yes.
I'm gonna hit the
So
palate.
back
Hit
to
all
the
the
whole,
palates.
back to this whole Johnny Depp, Amber Heard type situation.
Oh God.
I just want to say, you know, I always thought Johnny Depp is a great actor because he has range, like a Billy Bob Thornton.
I absolutely love the man. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I have a crush on Johnny Depp.
Do I look
And-
like a Johnny Depp a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. Like, you know.
You are Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Johnny Depp's a great actor. This is
Yeah.
Johnny Depp. He cut his hair, he's
Right?
putting on this accent.
Yeah, he's an Italian version of Johnny
Yeah,
Depp.
touch, like,
Yeah,
when he
Italian
was
version
in,
of Johnny
Donnie
Depp.
Brasco.
So, like, I would say, like, my first, like, for actors, my first crush was Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, from Romeo and Juliet, and Johnny Depp from Edward Scissorhands.
Scissorhands.
Yeah.
So not from the Titanic.
No. Romeo and Juliet.
I don't think I ever saw that one.
You gotta watch it.
Okay. I know
Yeah.
the story of Romeo and Juliet, but I never think I saw the movie.
Yeah, when he played, you know, in the movie Romeo and Juliet, and then just, like, I like the old school words of talking, like the intellect, the words that actually have a meaning, you know. Titanic, you know, it was nice him being there, but Titanic's a little bit too long for me.
You like linguists, like men that say things like, I am the pernicious purveyor of preposterous pomposity and the paragon
Yes.
of pugilistic punditry, and I am here to manipulate the
I
minuscule-minded
like smart
miscreants.
men. I like intellectual men. You know, I like men that are able to say things with meaning behind it,
Yes.
not the whole like slang terminology or like no.
And I
Like-
think that like is being, as an author myself, and I'm going to plug. I wrote the definitive history book on MMA, grappling, pro wrestling. The book, the renowned book Rough and Tumble, which is renowned throughout the world of amateur wrestling, MMA, pro wrestling, and I consider myself to be an intellectual. To be sometimes I feel like I have to dumb that down in today's society.
you shouldn't.
Because you were dealing with so many people who are so brutish.
No, so you're
No,
right,
you
you're
shouldn't.
right.
You shouldn't dumb that down at all. Like as a matter of fact, like I guess like my taste buds for men is like it varies. Like you know, like from Edward Scissorhands to you know Romeo and Juliet to like even like the rock and roller guys. You know, like I like rock and roll. Like I like HCDC. You know, from Queen, Freddie Mercury. Like
What's your favorite band? Rock band.
oh gosh, there's many. There would be.
Who's your favorite front man? That's an even better one.
Okay,
The
so rock-
sexiest front man out there.
Sexy frontman? Oh. Well, as far as music, I love listening to Ozzy.
Yeah.
You know, I like listening to the Beatles. I like listening to AC/DC. I like listening to Fozzy. You know, Chris, you know, shout out to him. You know, he's...
I've never really heard much. I know Chris Jericho is obviously, but I've
Yeah,
never really heard the
Fozzy,
band.
Fozzy.
Yeah,
He
I know
owns
he has a
band.
band. I've never heard them though.
Yeah, it's actually, his music's pretty good. Like, some of his music is actually
Yeah?
pretty good. That man is a renaissance man. I give him his full props on that, you know, for not only that he's able to balance, not only, like, from his acting to career to, like, being on a network with foodies and ridiculousness to having a web series, you know, but I'm Chris Jericho, to also on top of that, you know, running a rock band named Fozzy is like that man's all over the
And
place.
they actually go out and tour. They
Yeah.
don't just put out some songs. I mean, this isn't a gimmick. It's not like, you know, I was always a good friend of mine actually from years ago in the wrestling business is known as PS, Michael P.S. Hayes.
Yes.
And a great guy, a lot of fun to be around. But, you know, that was more of a gimmick for him. He never went out and really toured when they put out Bad Street USA. For people that don't know, Chris Jericho actually goes out and tours with this band, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Like that, like he is nonstop. I don't know how he does it. You know, I would love to learn as much as I possibly can because like that man is always reinventing himself and he makes money. And it's like
Yeah.
a lot of people whoever have the fortitude or the fortunate, you know, to be able to do business with him and learn from him, they could learn a lot from
Well,
him.
do you like to sing?
Only karaoke nights when I have a lot of
What,
drinks.
would you?
Karaoke? No, I'm not singing.
I
You have to
sing.
sing
One
that
song,
part.
I think you can do
No.
it. One song.
I mean,
Let me-
the only time you catch me singing is probably over in Japan.
Well, let me get to this. Let me get to this point here because I perform.
God.
You get the microphone
I,
ready.
No.
I perform here in Florida in the Cocoa Beach area with Carlos Carr, who's a renowned crooner. We do Dean Martin. We do Tony Bennett. We do Frank Sinatra. We do some of the supper clubs throughout the Cocoa Beach area, and Bally Bar Wine Bar. I've performed with him. I do songs like My Way, like Volare. I do a lot of these the classics. The classics. My point is simply this: would the gorgeous Renee Michelle ever want to come and do a duet with me at one of our shows?
I think
And dressed in a gown, and we always dress to the nines. Do a duet with me and the legendary
God.
Carlos Carr. What do you say?
Oh God, I love how the way you're setting me up. A, I have to know that song. I have to listen to that song to know it. And B, I think in America here, I think my go-to song is "I Will Survive" by Gloria Estefan.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
You know, that's like my go-to
I love that song.
Or "Why Don't You Do Right?" You know,
We can play it up
that
for
too.
you.
But if when I was over in Japan, when I was staying there, living, back and forth about a year, like I think like Chigusa Nagayo, she was very shocked to know that I could actually sing in Japanese and also read in Japanese as well. So, there's like a Yuma Hamasaki to Haido Takari to Gakdo to Yoshiki. So I'm more comfortable with their with their lyrics than so much of America. But over in America, I'm more of like oldies type of music. 'Cause
Well,
I feel like
you're in luck because I'm going to close out this episode after we have the Montepulciano.
Yes.
And I'm going to sing. I'm going to serenade
You're gonna sing.
you.
You're gonna serenade me. Oh.
I'm going to serenade you with a classic. I'm not going to tell you what it is until we get to the end of the show, but I'm going to serenade you with a couple verses from a classic song.
Oh, I would love that. I love like old classic music because I feel like the music back in the day had more of a meaning than compared to the music now.
Oh yeah,
So it's like,
100%. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But can you sing a little bit? I Will Survive.
Oh God.
Just a touch. You can do it. Come on.
At first I was alive. I was petrified. No, that's it.
Well, we got with
get the voice.
verse
You get the
there.
voice.
Beautiful voice.
How's the Prosecco?
This
It was
Prosecco is fantastic.
afraid, and I was petrified. There you go.
Renee, what do you think of this Prosecco?
She didn't try yet.
Oh, wait.
All right.
I was still on the first one. I was still on Genie on the Bottle.
She's a genie in the bottle. Now she's with Venice. That's
Yeah,
Venice.
with Christina
Welcome to
Aguilera.
Venice.
Christina,
Yes.
Genie in a Bottle.
Yeah.
You got to rub me the right way.
Yeah, you're
So, which
you're-
one did you like better now that you tried it? The Prosecco or the Sparkling Grigio? You like gin in the bottle or Venice?
Ladies first.
She didn't try yet.
I'm going to try.
Can you smell it? Vanilla. Fruits.
Is that what you do? You smell?
Yes. You smell anything? Can you smell it, please?
Fruits.
Are we talking yet?
Grapes.
Yep.
Is it
I
green?
smell the perfume.
What you
Is it-
wearing?
is it
What kind of
green?
perfume you wearing?
Perfume. It's called Midnight.
Her wedding was viewed by millions, literally millions of people on national television as part of
Very
WWE.
sexy night. That's what it's
Yeah.
called. Very sexy night.
You should let him know because he wasn't here for the first segment. In all seriousness, her wedding was viewed by millions of people on television and WWE.
Yeah, so I usually wear, of course. Oh, so you can remember me by it.
Let me see.
Unforgettable.
Let me see.
Always start again. Come here.
Give me another. Just spray a little. Spray a little.
That's it.
I'm never gonna forget about it.
Aww. And then I like Very Sexy Night. I also like Chanel No. 5.
Of course.
That's what I wear, like, normally when I go to bed at night,
Oh, you could buy the 90
Yeah, Chanel No.
I can't
5.
find a girl like you that wears Chanel number 5. Where they make those?
It's a
Nobody.
classic. You cannot go wrong with Chanel No. 5. And then also on top of that, there's Very Sexy from Victoria's Secret. There's Very Sexy Night from Victoria's Secret. There's also one brand called Good Girl.
I like Good,
Good
Girl.
Girl. And like how the perfume bottle is like a shape of a heel.
I know which
Yeah,
one it is.
yeah.
I know. I love Good Girl. That's a good.
Yeah,
That's actually
that's
a good
brand.
perfume. Yeah.
So they either have the red heel or they have the black heel. I like both. So
What do you think about that? He likes Chanel at nighttime.
I love
That's
this
what
one.
it is.
I love it.
yeah,
No, no, he
Chanel.
likes Chanel at
Yeah, I'm
nighttime.
gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you something. I have one of the worst senses of my sense of vision when I look at this gorgeous woman. I have a great sense of vision, luckily, but my sense of smell is like one of the worst.
Well, now you have a scent. My
yeah,
scent.
no, I can smell this,
You
but
cannot
it's
tell
very
Bacala
faint.
from Chanel.
I have when I'm when I'm this is
Or
what
a
I'm
Florida
telling you.
water.
I have
You know,
one
the
of
Florida-
the
You
worst.
tell the difference
Now,
of Bacala and Chanel.
maybe, but I mean.
You don't remember.
He doesn't remember the difference
No,
between
no.
Bacala
I
and Chanel.
remember. But
do?
I'm trying to
I
tell
hope
you.
you do, but like, that's a
Yes, of course.
problem. No, Bacala is Bacala. Chanel
Yeah,
is
Chanel is
Yeah,
Chanel. Come
I
on.
would say like the scents that I have is more like maybe mature, but it's also more like warm, mature, seductive type of
I
scent.
love that.
So, doctor, you want to be like my wine, like my Prosecco
But
now.
what I-
like-
Yes, those are more so my scents.
Yeah.
Now.
But I just mean of the senses. I have a hard. I just have a weak sense of smell. Like I
Really?
don't smell things. Like
You're lucky
like
man.
lucky in some cases. And
So
none.
this is Good Girl.
Oh, I like Google. That's my favorite.
This
Actually.
is the red one.
But they make it like it looks like a shoes, right? Like
Yeah. So this is the red one, the one with the red heel.
No, sorry.
Get
Can
this
you
close to my
can you
nose so I
smell
can
that?
Come here. Put under your nose right now.
Oh yeah, I can
That's
smell
my,
that.
this is my favorite.
Yes.
This is my favorite.
smell that.
So there's the black one, and then this is the red one.
The
so-
black one. I know the black one.
Yeah. So this is the red one too.
Can
So
you
I-
tell your friend that you're gonna introduce to me to wear the black one?
Yeah, I could do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. But no, like I guess I like more of a mature type of sense, you know, like that's like very more so like nighttime, seductive, you know, warming. And then sometimes I mix it between like a little bit of woodsy or whatever, but then it really depends on my mood. If I want to be like something like light or whatever, then I'll go for something more of a lighter scent. You know, like a lot of people, they call it perfume or whatever. I like to call it scent. You know, if I wanted to go for more like warm and seductive or whatever, I
Say
could
scent
do
again.
No, I don't understand.
like warm, you know, seductive, like homely, like, you know, like, yeah, like, yeah, he's smiling, you know, or like, or
Smiling all
maybe,
over.
or maybe like a hint of like woodsy, then I'll go for that, and
I like that.
And tell him, speaking of woodsy, let Massimo know you are a woman of the world, so well rounded. You're also an outdoors woman who loves horseback riding, archery. She's a master of archery.
yeah.
She's
So
a,
he came across one of my videos.
she's a
and-
marksman.
Yeah,
markswoman.
so I like using the recurve bow. Like I understand like a lot of people they like use compound or whatever type of bow. I like to go a little bit old school. You know, I like to rely solely on my sight. Granted the compound bow is like more accuracy, but I'm a little bit old school, so I go towards the recurve bow. But a lot of people don't realize back in the day, they think that hunters, like back in, you know, prehistoric area, were men. They were actually women.
Women, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then...
Huntress.
Yes, huntress. You know, a lot of people thought they were men. They were really women. And then, you know, during like England or whatever, they cut the fingers off the arrowsmiths, you know, just to make sure that they don't be able to shoot accurately.
Oh.
So there's that saying, it's like, you know, cutting fingers off. I forgot exactly what it is, but they cut their fingers off so that they don't be able to shoot accurately.
Oh, God.
And then for some of the women, they actually cut off their left breast so that they could be able to get it out the way. But if you shooting accurately, it's not supposed to be across the chest. It's supposed to be right here in this area. So you have to be very careful when you do shoot a bow, so that way you don't like either nick your chest
Yeah.
or your breast.
It's
We would
interesting.
never
Yeah.
want you to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to have like back muscle for it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and
So you
a
like
lot-
to hunt?
I like to hunt, but I mean, the only times that I have ever hunt was deer. You know, and deer meat.
Oh,
is
I
very
love
good.
venison.
Yes.
Love venison. I have
You
great
know.
venison recipes.
Can you make it something?
I'll tell you,
That's what you gotta make now.
I make a venison chili that with goat
Now we're
cheese. That's
talking. Now
fantastic.
we're talking.
And the backstrap, I love. Now let's talk about that. What would you make with venison? What are some of the? Because you're a great chef as well.
Who, me?
Yes.
Okay, so what was the dish again? I'm sorry.
With anything you would make with venison.
Venison?
You're seriously the perfect woman. I have to say.
Oh no. Honestly, I'm not sure if I used that yet.
When you deer hunted, you didn't use venison.
You don't cook it?
No, I marinate it.
Marinate,
I
yeah.
marinate-
Ah,
I
yeah,
marinate
yeah,
it
yeah.
for like a few days, and
Yeah.
then I eat it.
Oh, how you marinate it?
Yeah. I
How?
would use it. Well, there's this great thing of you know, like either with soy sauce, or you can marinate with like garlic and soy sauce and onions and stuff
Oh,
like
it
that
sounds
for a
good,
few
yeah.
days. Then you can also marinate with there's this thing that's called I forgot what it is, but it's gonna dawn on me probably later. You know, even when you're cooking with chicken, it's like you marinate for a few days.
Yeah.
I forgot what it is. It's like stuck at the top of my tongue, and it's like stuck in my mind, but I don't know the word for it. But
Yeah, if you like it, when anything that's game meat, like even
Game
turkey,
meat.
like when I used to
and then there's
turkey
this
hunt.
Filipino.
Yeah.
There's this Filipino vinegar. I forgot
Yeah.
what it was, but it's like a spicy vinegar that's really really good. Tastes so
Yeah,
good.
that
Yeah,
sounds
like
Filipino
good.
food comes like really really good. Filipino food is really.
You know
really
what's a good marinade? It's looking at your bracelet and my headband.
Yeah.
Is Italian dressing, especially if you turkey hunt and the turkey, like the big wild turkey breast, you marinate that in Italian dressing and then baste it as you grill it.
And you also want
Takes
to
the
use like a
gaminess.
marinade with like soy sauce, jalapenos, and lemon.
Ooh, that sounds
I love
good.
jalapeno.
Yeah.
Jalapenos
Yeah.
and lemon and soy sauce like mixed together is a good marinade.
Let's do that.
think
because
we would
it's-
pair.
Sometimes you gotta cook for us. Can you?
Yeah, yeah,
She,
of course.
she can. Are you kidding? She's a
Like if
great
you want
chef.
Cuban food, I got you. If you want Filipino food, I got you. You want some Italian or Japanese or Korean, bulgogi
I
or
want.
whatever.
She's
I
part
got
Cubana.
you.
I want the Cuban.
Like-
Are you
It- A
Cubana?
part Cuban. Yeah.
I love Cuba. I've been 2 times to Cuba.
Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
love
I still have
Cuba.
not been to Cuba, but I was supposed to go to Cuba to get crowned for like my religion and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's happening because like the way of the world is. But you know, I pretty much, and then if you want some British food, I got you.
British? No, I want the Cuban food.
Cuban food, ropa vieja, mondoros,
Yeah,
yeah,
Honduras.
Yeah.
¿Habla español?
poquito. Mi
Massimo-
abuelo fue Cuba.
So Massimo,
Bueno.
Massimo frequently goes to Cuba, but he also frequents Colombia. He's in Colombia all
I'm
the
in love
time.
with the Colombia. It's the temperature. Medellin, Colombia is beautiful.
Interesting.
The temperature, the people, the food. It's so much to do. It's nice and like calm. Like it's not
Yeah.
crazy like it used to be.
Yeah.
So I really like it to go there for a weekend. I'm
I-
trying to go once a month.
Yeah, I was only told about Cuba from my grandfather before he passed, like how things are still the same, like with the old school cars and all of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like I wish I could be able to grab one of those cars from back then.
But can I say something? That's
Yeah.
the only country actually. They still like.
They're still
hungry,
stuck in the
they're
old
still-
days. Yeah.
It's something unique too. You gotta think
Yeah.
about it. I
They're
feel
still stuck in
bad.
time.
I feel bad for one side because people, unfortunately, they don't know too much about it,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on in the world. But let me tell
Cuban
you,
food is good too.
the
Cuban-
Cuban food is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll cook some Cuban food for you guys if you
I
like.
love it. Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever, let me know.
We're ready.
Yeah, it's gonna take hours. Like if you want some ropa vieja, like either I could cook in a pot or I could cook in a crock pot, whichever one you want.
Explain that dish for the listeners. The ropa vieja.
Ropa vieja.
Yeah.
So it's like shredded. They call it old rags, you know, in translation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you have shredded flank, and you let that cook and marinate, and you have like tomato pasta, you have the tomatoes, you have like all different types of seasoning and stuff. So when you cook it, let's say for hypothetically speaking, you have to boil the meat, and then after that you take the meat out. And if you want to use a crock pot from there, you have to use the crock pot. So then hours on it, depending on how fast or how slow you want to cook it, it could take about 4 hours. It could take about 8 hours.
Oh, I love that.
Can we do 2 hours? It's like,
No.
no, has to
No.
be 4.
Yes.
I like it. Those. That sounds
Because
amazing.
you want all the flavors, and then you want like the
I'd like to
olives
be
and all of
all
that
day.
to like seek in, and the seasoning, and all of that. Some people, they add raisins
This
into
guy can
it.
eat. He said he can eat all
Oh
day your
yes,
food.
I eat the
All
whole
day
thing.
he will eat your food.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's good. Like, I like to use like a flank like this big,
Oh,
and then I put it into the crock pot. After I got it boiled, and then I put it into the crock pot, and then after that I use like all the tomatoes and all of that stuff, and the olives and
The tomates, yes.
yeah, like the olives and the salsas and the
he
seasoning.
loves
and
tomatoes
everything.
too. Put a lot of
Yeah,
tomatoes.
so-
Can you put
Tomatoes.
extra tomatoes for him?
Yeah, like
Yes.
the better, the juicier, the better it is.
We like juicier.
Yeah.
Juicier.
I love juice.
And then when you
That's-
cook the black beans with the onions and everything,
I
and
like
then
that.
the garlic.
That's Italian right there. I think
Yes.
you're gonna be Italian. You got the
Yeah, a
move.
little bit in there.
Well, you have to
So you let it
remember.
all simmer and cook, and then you make the rice. So what I like to how I make the rice is like everyone uses like regular white rice. But
Arroz.
Brown.
I like to use like olive oil and butter and parsley and garlic and mix it all together. And I
¿Qué
use a
clase
rice
de
cooker.
arroz? ¿Qué clase de arroz? Is it white rice, blanco? Or
It could be jasmine rice. They're all the same. It
Yeah.
could be jasmine rice. It could be white rice. Whatever.
Oh, brown because we're
Yeah.
on the diet. You can do brown.
yeah.
It's still the same. A lot of people go like. A lot of
I like
people
put
go like,
mushrooms
oh.
in the rice.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is with
And
white
then
rice-
any
Mushroom? No, yeah.
But the thing is between the white
You're not
rice and the
drinking,
brown
man.
rice,
Oh,
it's like
give
a
me some,
different
give me
type
some,
of
give me some
starch.
more.
We're
Oh,
getting
look,
weak,
look at
man,
you.
though.
It's Monday. We got to drink. It's
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's Monday,
my
guys.
birthday
So-
party.
Prosecco time.
Prosecco time, yes.
Yeah.
I see
love
your
that.
birthday?
Well, my birthday is actually on Domingo and Sunday.
Domingo.
Uh,
Happy birthday, bello.
and I'm going to be with her. Voy a ser con ella on my
Salute.
birthday.
Salute.
We're going to be at a show in the River City Wrestling Festival, Wrestling Con in Jacksonville.
Oh, yes,
Right.
we're going to be together.
Yeah,
Together?
my birthday.
Yeah,
This is not my
Sunday.
birthday. You gonna come? You gonna come to
Jacksonville,
the
Florida. Why not come?
But I understand. You from here? Where are you going from here?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville,
And
Florida.
then after that,
I got to go
She's
to
going all
Clearwater,
over.
Florida.
he's gonna stay in Jacksonville.
No, I'm gonna go down more around Daytona.
So you're gonna stay together for a few days?
No, it's just only
I
Sunday.
wish. Yeah, just a Sunday, and Domingo.
You gonna? But where do you live right now? Do you live?
Okay, so currently right now I live in Apopka, Florida. That's 30 minutes outside of Orlando. So to get to Jacksonville, it's about 2 hours.
How you guys gonna meet over there?
I drive, and I guess I'm assuming he drives.
Voy a
too,
manejar.
so
For me,
it's-
for where I am in Florida, that's Jacksonville's an hour and 15 minutes. It's not
See, so that's closer to him. But me, I live like 2 hours away.
So you're gonna go back to Orlando, close to Orlando. Right?
Yeah,
And
and then
you're gonna
drive
meet
to
again.
Jacksonville.
I thought it was like a tour you guys doing together.
Oh,
Right.
No, because by the
We're-
time this show airs, usually it takes almost a week. It
Yeah.
might be past that already.
right.
You know, so they're saying, it's my birthday show, but my birthday technically is not until this coming Sunday,
Yeah, which is
which is the
Over
River City, Wrestling Con. Yes.
Okay, okay.
in Jacksonville,
Now,
Florida.
let me ask you, Massimo, do you ever watch wrestling? Are you a fan of the wrestling, the lucha libre,
Just a little bit because I like more boxing
boxeo? Yeah.
and some UFC.
Yeah.
Speaking
Are
of
the UFC?
boxing,
Yeah.
here's a fun fact about me.
You're a boxer too. You like to punch.
No, I don't. It's not self-defense.
She's a martial artist, though.
Not only that I was a martial artist, when I was living in Pensacola, Florida, growing up, it was very rough. So it's very taboo for like interracial couples and having like mixed children and everything. So I'm multiracial. So around the corner from my grandmother's place, there was Roy Jones Jr.
Oh, of course, yeah.
His trainer lives around the corner from my grandmother's place. And I was training with him, knowing I did not know that was Roy Jones Jr. trainer during that time. And Roy Jones Jr. is a close friend of my father's.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
Roy
and-
Jones Jr. was one of the best. One of the very best.
Yeah,
Long time ago.
Because I was like multiracial and it was very taboo growing up as a multiracial child, and my parents being in a biracial relationship.
So talk about that a little bit, being multiracial, because you're so exquisitely beautiful. You're mixing everything together perfectly. What is you mentioned the Cubana? What is your background? Because when I first met you, I thought you were Latina.
So the thing is, like, okay, so I mixed with, from what I was told, is Cuban, Native American, Italian, Black, Irish, Spanish, Cherokee, French, and German.
Oh my God.
With the
So
Native
that
American
means-
side, it's
yeah.
the Native American was Cherokee, and us a Tuheet, on the Native side. So my brother on my father's side of the family, he was able to find family because the majority of the men did the military. He was able to find family back in the late 1700s, all the way in Sussex, England.
Yeah.
So we have a family crest and all of that.
So your family's been in America for a long time.
Yes.
Different generations,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And then on my grandmother's father's side, her maiden name was Rothschild. So you could fathom how that came
Probably
about.
Jewish, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a Rothschild on my grandmother's father's side, and then there's the White family that's like German or English, date back all the way in Sussex, England.
Yeah.
So I'm still in the process of finding out my mother's side of the family, but that's as far as I could find out as far as my father's side of the family, from Rothschild and White is all the way date back in Sussex, England. So luckily, because my brother was able to ask me who was our great grandfather, I was able to provide pictures and stuff with him. And Andre, he's now getting into the government field, and I'm helping him in the process of getting his TSSCI clearance with the Department of Defense over at the CIA.
Now let's talk about, you worked for the CIA.
Yes, I have. I was a government contractor for the CIA.
You still work even now?
No, she worked in the past.
I am. Yeah.
Are you still with the CIA?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But no, but I do more so on the recruiting firm.
Oh, wow.
So my mother, she's the CEO of a contracting firm, and I'm the COO of the contracting firm. Before then, I was a business analyst as well as just an analyst for the Department of Defense over at the CIA as a contractor.
Wow, you are such a fascinating woman.
So way before I even got into wrestling, even beforehand, I still do stuff I do
You
today.
were with the CIA when you were approached by
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
right? Yes. So this goes back like 9
Yes,
years.
I was a contractor for them.
Wow. Can you show me a badge?
I don't carry it around with me.
CIA
Oh, you have
is
a badge.
covert.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Wow. You are a woman of intrigue and mystery.
Well, the thing is, like, either within our family is either you were military or government.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the realm of the lives that I grew up in. Like I said, I never grew up in wrestling or anything like that.
How did your
And-
family feel when you got into the wild and wacky world of professional wrestling?
They were completely against it. Because it's not like they look at us beneath them or anything. It's just that how the way they see it is like, what could they possibly offer compared to this realm of the world? And which I totally understand it on both ends of the spectrum, but I feel more like in longevity, I would say it will be that. But I feel more lively and alive, and I love to travel and meet interesting people along the way.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're able to navigate both worlds.
Yeah.
now, which is, I mean,
Yeah.
you're an amazing woman in so many
Yeah.
regards.
Thank you. So, fortunately, or eventually, when my mother does retire, then I'll take over the business, and we will like to have a family-owned business. So if I was to have children and if they so choose to, it will be passed on to them.
That's great.
You know,
Wow, that's interesting.
my mother and I, we both came from absolutely having nothing to struggling and surviving to now we be able to have what we have today.
How did your mother get involved with the CIA and with this company?
Honestly, I don't know how she started, but she started making her own business doing recruiting. And then she started doing recruiting with government contract, either is military or government hotels and stuff like that. But she worked like nearly 25 to 30 years to build what she have.
Which is why, you were born in the D.C. area.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is pretty much
navigating back. And the piece that I missed in all of this, because we've covered so much, is I understand the D.C. area, I understand the Fredericksburg, Virginia area. How did Pensacola, Florida ever factor into the equation?
That was on my father's side of the family.
Okay.
So my grandmother on my father's side of the family, she was a mean, strict English teacher. And she was very much church-going teacher. So, of course, because my parents were very young when they had me, they felt like, okay, they were doing some stuff when they were younger, and they felt like I was very safe.
Mm-hmm.
More so safe to be around my grandmother during that time.
Yeah.
But in the South was very different. It was very taboo to be a biracial child or a multiracial child, let alone a multiracial or biracial family. So I was the first in that family.
Wow, that's an incredible story. I mean, it's, you're talking about the fact that you have literally navigated and continue to keep your toes in with the contracting firm, the CIA, and the world of wrestling and entertainment, all this. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, like my stepfather, he worked in dealing with the FBI,
Yeah.
And contracting for them. I had my brother who did the military, and now he's in the process of trying to get his clearance and working with CIA. I have done government contracting with them.
Mm-hmm.
My mother, she built from the ground up of having a recruiting firm. And having customers, let alone a relationship with them throughout so many years. So I wouldn't want my mother's hard-earned work, let alone what she had built, go to waste.
Sure.
So even though I have a youngest brother, and even though my other brother, he's dealing with his own thing, I think my mother feels more secure and safe that I'll take on that role if she so chooses to retire.
And that kind of leads me to this question, because there's so much going on now for you. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now, Renee?
Honestly, I don't know. I hope I'm still alive, But other than that, I don't know if I'll still be in wrestling. I really don't know. Because currently right now, like, this year I'll be 36, do I love wrestling? Absolutely, yes. If I had a son and he wanted to become a wrestler, I'm all for it. If I have a daughter, I'll be more so very rare. Can you imagine having a daughter that looks like me and trying to get in the world of wrestling?
Be dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Very dangerous. And then there's, like, my husband. He's, like, blonde hair, blue eyes, Can you imagine, like, God forbid if I have a son that look like David Beckham with a tan, or or a daughter that kind of looks like, I don't know, like maybe Halle Berry with like ice blue eyes or something like that. I don't know, or honey blonde hair. Yeah. Like I don't know. I don't know what my child will pop up looking like,
Yeah.
But if I had a son, I wouldn't mind being him in wrestling. If I had a daughter, I'd be very weary because, let's be totally honest, men and women in wrestling, we're all fucking nuts. We're all crazy.
I know I am.
Yeah, like we're in the world of wrestling, we're all nuts. We're all not there in the head. But if you're able, like, I'm a firm believer, whatever that you make in wrestling, save.
Sure.
You have to save. It's imperative to save. You know, all the money, and even if you don't save and make the investment, it's like in order to make money, you have to spend money.
Yeah.
So if you're making money and then you're spending money to have better gear, better pictures, whatever the case may be.
It's not what you make, it's what you save.
Yes, exactly.
And, you know, that brings me to this point. You know, I've been involved recently, and I didn't really mean for this even to explode like it did as a feud with a man who made an absolute fortune in the wild and wacky world of professional wrestling and didn't save, and was supposed to be here in this studio and involved in hosting one of our big events.
Oh, really?
The Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
And I don't know how much you know about my recent feud with
No, you were
Rick.
recently telling me that, and I was like, that's crazy. I remember one time at MCW that I was kind of like a semi-manager for Ric Flair, and I walked him down to the ring. And I was wearing a red glittery dress, and I had darker hair. I had like blackish brown hair during that time. And he was wearing like a black suit. I think he was wearing like a purple tie. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But he looked very clean and crisp. But I don't know what he was doing with his money or anything like that. But he was very much of a gentleman.
Yeah.
So like the story that you were telling me about Rick, I was very dumbfounded because he was just like the sweetest. He was like the sweetest man ever.
That's a good luck.
Well, you know,
that's a good luck.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, it is. I like that.
That's
How's
Yeah, I
your
like
good luck?
that.
Well,
I
in
like
Italy,
that.
when you drop when you drop
It's good
some
luck when you
alcohol,
spill a little vino.
when you spill a little vino, it means like it's a good luck.
Am I gonna get money out of this?
Yes, that's why. Keep it like that. They don't like, leave it
So
like that.
so back to the point here. What you're saying here is it's true. You know, and I wish Rick and Wendy nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Nothing but the best. But you know, and I've known Rick for quite a while, and I got under his skin in a way I didn't expect to. And I am a heel.
Yeah.
And a heel in life sometimes, and I try to push people's buttons, just joking. And no, it was. I mean, Kevin Sullivan told me, and I found this out the night before when I was out with Kevin, the show where I met you in Daytona, that I had caused Rick to lose his mind. He was so mad at me, and I'm gonna say it one time
You
for the
got under his
folks.
skin.
One time, Rick, I'm giving you the chest. 25 unanswered chops. Rick's Revenge. I'm talking about The Gathering, North Carolina. We've already talked to Tully Blanchard. We've already talked to Arn Anderson. They're going to be there. Bill Hazelwood, who's promoting the event, has asked you to come and give me 25 unanswered chops. Rick, you're going to get it. 25. You're going to get your revenge guaranteed. 25 unanswered chops.
Did he do it?
Will he? That's the question. That's the question.
No, he hasn't done it yet.
He hasn't accepted yet. The offer's been put out there.
How long ago?
It's happening right now as we speak. This is for August for The Gathering.
25?
I'm allowing him to give me 25 chops. It's not a match. It's Rick's Revenge because I feel guilty that I contributed to him losing.
Guilty?
He blames me for the loss of his wife and his marriage, and
What?
I want him to
that
get
had nothing
his
to do
revenge.
with you.
Well, I'm a nice guy. What can I
No,
say? I want him
absolutely
to
not. Absolutely not. Okay, what's going on in their personal life that's between them, it has nothing to do with you. Okay, who knows what's been festering beforehand before you even came into picture? Maybe you might be the caveat of
I think it might have been the lost straw. Yeah.
Who knows?
It
But
broke the
regardless-
camel's back.
But regardless, at the end of the day, it was going to get there with you being there or not.
Yes. No, I agree. But
There's no but. There's no ifs, ands, or buts
so
about
you're
it.
thinking I should retract this offer for Rick's Revenge?
Absolutely, yes. Unless you want to go ahead and so seemingly be chopped 25 times, but that's solely on to you.
We'll see if
Sir?
Rick accepts. I don't know. Will he accept? I don't want to wrestle. Says he's a 73-year-old man. I want to give him the opportunity to get his revenge on me.
Oh, I cut him.
You know.
All right.
Ay. Well,
be
let's
positive.
get back
Let's
to
be
the wine.
positive
Let's get.
now.
I was trying to put
Can
a
you put
positive
a
spin
song?
on
Actually, you
it.
said you're gonna serenade.
After the Montepulciano di Abruzzo.
You telling him to serenade me? You should serenade me.
Well, you sing for her too. Can't you sing for her too? Come on over here. Come on.
I'm a
What's going on
terrible-
over here?
I'm a terrible singer. Like when I get the alcohol growing, it's like
I think you're a good singer. Come on, you got the voice.
you got the voice.
Oh, I'm not.
He has
Lying.
got the voice.
You're lying. Because I
Listen,
can tell by
when
the
you talk
raspy
about
voice.
wine, food,
Wine and
travel,
food. Yeah, I can
that's
talk about
Massimo.
that.
But now, He's the singer right here.
No, you are. You deep secretly are.
I love it.
All right.
Guys, you didn't tell me what you think about the Prosecco.
I love Prosecco.
I love it.
For me, this is the Sunday wine. Sunday is a relaxing day. We start the early afternoon, with some nice cold oysters, raw in the half shell, and there's nothing better than a nice Prosecco with it.
Can you do one song, please?
I'm gonna
Can you
sing
make me
for.
happy?
I'm singing for her after the Montepulciano.
Are you going to serenade?
That's how
me?
we're. That's how
Is
we're
that
gonna
what it
drink
is?
The
it.
red one.
That's how we're
We're not
gonna-
going to drink the red one.
Yeah,
just
we're
so
gonna
you know.
drink the red one. We
How?
have
I'm
to
not gonna
open the
mix.
Montepulciano.
Yeah, but can you finish this one?
Yeah. I'm
I
finished.
want to see that. Come on.
I'm gonna finish it.
Go,
You know,
go,
you don't
go.
want me to drink too much, or it'll affect my singing voice. You know.
Are you here to serenade me?
I'm gonna have to switch seats and sit there with you, so I
No,
can
but-
be
Oh,
right next to
snap.
the gorgeous woman. Hey, you keep giving me more of this. We'll never get to the Montepulciano, eh?
Which one did you like better, the Prosecco or the...
I cannot
Sparkling
give an
Pinot Grigio.
answer because I have not gotten to the third one.
Oh, the third one is red wine.
Okay.
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 So you want to see which one? You
Yes.
gotta taste that one and then
Yeah.
you tell
I don't
me.
like to judge. I like to see all my options.
Oh, look at that. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a smart woman. That's
Yes.
a classy woman. My God.
I'm very happy that I met you.
Oh,
You're cool.
really?
You're very cool. You're nice. You have a good energy.
I
Oh.
want to tell you, Massimo,
Yes.
I was at a low point in Daytona Beach. I was on a wrestling show, and I was back in the locker room. My dad had just passed away just a few days before, and I was feeling so bad. And then I locked eyes with the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen in my life. Was you. And we were back there, and you brightened up my day. You brightened up my year, my month. Wow. I was hit at a low
The
point.
guy's in love over here.
Yeah, it was so funny. I would say it was very hilarious. Because as much as he was complimenting me, he had no idea that I was dealing with the drama.
Yeah, she had a lot of
You were
drama at
dealing with
that
drama?
show. You want to tell her?
Oh, God. Oh, God. It was just... So I got contacted at the last minute for a show. And it was for Atomic Pro. And I guess one girl either so happened to opt it out, but that wasn't even the case. I guess she got unbooked. And I was dealing with a match in a three-way. So you have Teal Piper, you have Paola Blaze, who's from the 90 Day Fiancé, show, and she got into the world of wrestling. Beautiful girl, good soul, beautiful girl, And then there was another female that was supposed to be on the card before I even came into the picture with MJ Jenkins. So I guess MJ Jenkins, she so happened to be not on the show. And during the time, I did not know the reason why, because in my head, I'm like, that's very unlike for MJ Jenkins not to be on the show. Because MJ Jenkins never be not on the show, because, she worked hard. She used to be in NXT and everything like that, and her work ethic is very, good as far as I know. So I guess she somehow not being on the show, and then I got called at the last minute, and that week I was dealing with the week of the 2 or 3 weeks of not only that my abuelo, my grandfather, passing, but also my uncle passing as well. And so I was
Sorry to hear that.
It's the way of life, so God rest my soul with my abuelo, the Cuban, Casanova as he is.
Yes.
And
Italiano Casanova too.
yeah. And my uncle, that which is my mother's brother and everything. So I was dealing with that. I was contacted at the, last minute. I left after the funeral when I was supposed to really initially be there 2 days extra. But I left after the funeral and everything like that. And I come there at the show at Atomic Road, Daytona, where we first met. And I really had no idea what was going on. So I was dealing with Teal Piper, and I guess her husband, boyfriend, whatever the fuck he may be. You know, that time.
Damon, right? Or
Deimos. Or something like that.
And Teal Piper, to explain, the daughter of the rowdy one, the late great Rowdy Piper.
Yeah. So, it was just a lot of fucking drama, you know, and I was just like, there's no need for this extra particular drama that's going on. Is it indies? Is it work? You know, and then I guess Viola Blaze, she felt very uncomfortable, whatever that transpired, you know, during the whole event, that her manager ended up calling the promoter. And I was there during that time, and the promoter explained that she felt very uncomfortable. So I would, at the end of the show and everything, I was able to piece the puzzles together. Granted, I'm gonna be totally honest. You know, Teal, she had opportunities. You know, and she needs to find herself versus finding herself with someone else. And there's
Makes
nothing
sense,
and
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that, you know. And she's a grown adult. She's going to make the choices that she makes, you know, and when or if she does decide, there will be people that will be backing her up in that situation. But I do wish her the very best. You know, she does.
I just want to interject one thing. I did know her father, the rowdy one.
Yeah, I have absolutely the most respect for him.
Yeah, I did a book that his mentor, Roddy Piper's mentor, Gene LaBelle, wrote the foreword for, and spent some time with Roddy at Gene and Gokor Savichkin's old dojo in California many, many years ago. Back in the mid 2000s, and always liked Roddy Piper.
Yeah,
he was a great guy, one of the greatest of all time in the wild world of professional wrestling. So I didn't even know that he had a daughter that was in professional wrestling.
I did not know either.
Yeah.
You know, literally, I did not know either.
Yeah.
Like, as much as like Ronda Rousey promote like Roddy Piper,
Yeah.
you would have think that Ronda was her daughter.
And do you know why that is? I can shed a lot of light because Ronda's mother was an Olympic medalist in judo as well, and as well as Ronda, and was very close with Gene LaBelle, and Gene was the one who put Roddy together, you know, with Ronda. And I'll say Roddy knew the mother as well. That was a close-knit group in Southern California. And I met all of them through Eric Paulson when I was training out of CSW years ago, and he had me go and stay. I lived for a while at Gene's house in Hollywood and trained with those guys. So great lineage there from Ronda Rousey and Roddy Piper. But once again, I didn't even know that there was a Teal Piper out there.
I seriously did not know either. I never knew anything about her daughter. But, you know, when Roddy passed away, he had a book coming in. And Teal basically took on that burden, you know. And it's not like, I wouldn't even consider it a bad thing,
Yeah.
you know, but because she then found out so many stories of what her father did throughout all these years. So I don't blame her for being inspired, you know, wanting to get into wrestling, which is great. It's just that with any entertainment that you get in, there are positive or negative. There are sharks, there are snakes, you know, and you have to figure out what type of people that you want to surround yourself. You are the sum of the company that you keep.
Absolutely.
You know, and as unfortunate that may be, it is what it is due to society. So I do wish her the very best. Like, she does have a great soul. It's just her as an adult, she has to figure out what type of individual that she will want to surround herself with. that she wants to be with and that she wants to associate with, you know?
Yeah.
And that's all I could possibly say. Like, you know, like, she is a sweet girl. You know,
Yep,
it's just...
definitely. You know, I think that we all in life sometimes surround ourselves or align ourselves with toxic people, and I think it's for the individual to make that determination that they have to move forward. But I'll tell you one thing that is not toxic, and I can guarantee you, and that is the capiche, Montepulciano di Abruzzo, which we're going to close it out with. We're going to close it out with the capiche. Yeah, I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna sing after this capiche. We want to get to this, and then I'm gonna close it out with a song for you.
I gotta learn some Italian.
You gotta finish that one first.
Yeah, I do.
One shot. Oh, you did it.
I have a whole semester of Italian under my
Tell me
belt.
what you think. It was in my house. The temperature was not too strong, so I don't want to make sure it's. You know, to see if it's.
Oh yeah. Let me try.
If there's something else, can you tell if? Because it's supposed to be a certain temperature. It was in my house for a while.
No, it's good. This is good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's still good.
You always say it's good. I love it.
It's good. I'll get it.
Oh, she finished. That's good.
Yes, I
You did a
finished.
good job. This is capiche. That's the
Capiche.
main event. Capiche.
Now, explain to Renee or to anyone that doesn't know what the word capiche means.
Capiche means you understand.
You understand? That's what it means.
Yeah, in Italian. And like I told you in the
Capiche.
movies, like
You get it? Like,
yeah,
means
you
that
get,
you
no,
get it?
like they understand, yeah. So like they use this word in a lot of movies actually. Like I told you, like The
So
Godfather.
how long have you been in the winery?
The wine, I grew up with my grandfather. He owns a vineyard, but
For how many
in the
years?
business, I was very little when I used to go in the farm with him. But I was just going there as like a little kid, just to play around, you know. But when I started the business 2 years ago during the pandemic,
Oh.
so I got the first actual container from Italy because Italy was closed. January 14.
Oh.
And when I got the first container, yeah. Because for 2 years Italy was closed, everything was closed.
Oh,
You know that.
wow. Yeah, it was a very
Yeah.
good time.
Now, Italy was the very first
So
that we
who-
heard about.
So do you do the designing of the capiche on your own?
Well,
or
no, I have a graphic
deal
designer,
with-
but I give him the idea, and then he develop the idea. That's like that's me on the bottle.
That's you in a bottle,
Yeah.
but what was the reason for the horse at the top?
The horse on the top, that's the real Chooch Wine Company. That's the Chooch, supposed to be little Chooch. Means like a little donkey, but it's not a donkey. It's like more
Not
like a
donkey?
horse.
A horse?
Yeah,
a stallion?
it's a horse.
A
It looks
stallion.
like a Ferrari horse, but it's not because you cannot really do that. So it's like unique horse.
Now, in
But that's-
Italiano, is it caballo? Is that
Cavallo, no cavallo. Cavallo is in Spanish actually. Yeah?
Caballo is Spanish.
Caballo.
Caballo.
How do you
Ca-
say a horse in Italian?
Caballo.
Cavallo.
Cavallo. It's a V.
Caballo.
Yes.
Cavallo.
My Italian is horrible. I had one semester of Italiano, and I had many years of Spanish. So when I speak or
You mix
attempt
it
to
up.
speak, I mix it up
Yeah.
all the time.
Can you sing, please?
We're going to close this out, but we need to change seats. We're going to close out this episode.
Why would you do this for?
Because I'm
What's
gonna
going on?
serenade- I'm not
You're gonna
serenading you.
serenade me.
I'm
That's what it
serenading
is.
you.
Oh, really?
I'm serenading you. Here we go. It's very rare. It is very
Oh,
rare
God.
that I sing.
A rarity.
Very, very
please
rare.
Please X out me singing because I was a hot
Oh, you want to
mess.
edit it out? I thought it
Yes.
was great.
Oh no.
Let me see your hand.
Oh,
Your
no.
mano.
You want to see my?
Oh, that's what I'm talking
Let me see your
about.
hand.
You want to see my hand?
And I will close this episode out with song.
Oh yeah.
And this is a classic
make a
song
Go ahead.
that many of you will recognize. It was it was
And you're
first
rubbing
sung
my hand.
and performed, of course, by
Oh,
another
that's
king.
part of that's normal. It's like when
It
somebody
was
sings
first performed by another king. And
another king.
And
Well,
now
as-
the king
as
of
you're rubbing
Connecticut
my hand.
will sing it for you. Here we go. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay would it be a sin? For I can't help falling in love with you. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Bravissimo!
The TVT podcast.
Oh my God. Bravissimo. He's the best singer in the world.
When you're involved in an accident, it can shatter your entire life. Suddenly, you have physical injuries, lost wages, medical bills, and you are stressed. You don't have to do this on your own. Don't leave your life in pieces. Call the Berman Law Group, and we'll help you put the pieces of your life back together. We aggressively represent clients who have been injured, but if there's no recovery, you don't owe us any fees or costs. We have recovered our clients over $250 million, and we want to get you the money you deserve.